Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Pageant Mad Philippines live session. So yours truly, Franz is your pageant correspondent. So we are live simultaneously on Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. If you are new to our YouTube channel, please subscribe and click the bell notification and follow and like our Facebook page for more pageant updates. We are also on Instagram and TikTok, so please follow us on all our social media platforms. Now, guys, if you have any questions later for our guest, please don't hesitate to drop your questions down below at the comment section. All right. So once again, guys, this episode is being brought to us by Celebrity, a celebration of tea of a lifetime. All right, I believe that you are all excited now to meet our guest. So, our esteemed guest for tonight is a Misters of Filipinas 2021 candidate hailing from Liloan, Cebu. I hope I have pronounced that correctly. So, he is a 23-year-old BS accountancy degree holder or graduate, and he used to work in a private company as an auditor. He is fond of playing badminton on his leisure time and helps his family on their piggery business. Guys, sounds interesting, right? So please help me welcome our guest with a virtual applause, the pride of Liloan, Cebu, Dexter Tundag.
Hello,
Yes, hello.
sir. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Dexter. How are you doing?
Well,
Kumusta naman?
before anything else, sir, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be on your page, sir. I've been very excited for this, and I feel so excited for today. I'm actually very happy right now, and yeah, I'm so excited to be having a chit chat with you, sir.
Wow, chit-chat lang talaga ha. So,
Well, thank
yes, you know what, Dexter, we are also very much honored and privileged um, to have you on our live sessions and or I mean to have you gracing our live
you.
sessions basically. So we are definitely very much grateful to that. And
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for accepting our invitation and of course to your team. So thank you so much. And yes, how have you been doing?
Well, I have been so fine, sir. I'm just staying at home. I've mentioned that I'm unemployed as of the moment, but I'm looking forward to working soon when everything is fine, and hopefully after Mr. So Filipinas.
So you are just a fresh graduate, right?
Yes, sir. I think it's still fresh. I graduated April of 2020. That was last year, and
Oh, oh.
yeah. And after graduating, I mentioned that I used to work in a private company, but
Mhm.
I was able to have the opportunity to stay there for long because of emergency reasons. So yeah, now I'm here in Mr. of Filipinas, and I'm very happy.
Wow. Yeah, if I could remember last year just started like pandemic just started, right? So it was the
Yeah.
advent of
Mhm.
pandemic. So
Yeah.
basically you were the first batch who experienced online graduation ceremony.
Unfortunately, sir, even a virtual graduation, we didn't have the
Uh,
chance to experience even a virtual graduation. Yeah, they didn't
oh,
pursue
see.
for it. Yes.
Oh,
We were
mhm.
actually looking forward to it, sir. Kahit na hindi ngayon, even in the future, we'll still look forward to it. Mm-mm.
Yes, of course. Syempre, 'di ba? For the longest time, you have prepared for that.
Yeah.
You were basically anticipating. All of us are basically anticipating for graduation day, for that
Yeah.
graduation ceremony.
Yes.
Then
Mm.
just COVID lang talaga ang nanira ng lahat, no?
Oo nga, sir. It's just a
Mm-mm.
snap of a finger. Hindi natuloy even the
Mhm.
graduation. Mm.
How did you feel about that? Speaking of.
Well, at first, sir, we were really very upset. I mean, the entire batch was very upset because, sir, as just like what you've mentioned, we've been doing our best to graduate and to
Mhm.
obtain that degree. But in just a
Mhm.
snap of a finger, our graduation was canceled. But you know what, sir? I think that was the right move during that time because it's very risky to begin
Mhm.
with, and I know that our university, our the head of the university knows what's best for the students. So we just
Mhm.
have to abide for that, and I know it's for the betterment of everybody.
Mhm. Just
But
for your welfare.
yes, yes,
Mhm.
I agree.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Absolutely, because that's basically the best decision that you could actually. That's the best option that you can basically do.
Mhm. Definitely.
Because yeah, it was basically the advent, the beginning of all when the pandemic, when the virus is basic or the infected by the virus is basically rising, right?
Yes.
Increasing so
Mhm.
fast. Yes. So yeah.
Mhm.
So hopefully, you could be able to experience as well that
Yes.
the
Mhm. Hopefully,
actual the
hopefully.
actual graduation ceremony.
Yes,
Well,
sir. We will pray for that. We will pray for that. Mhm.
all right then. So, we have already mentioned some or a few about yourself a while
Mhm.
back, right? So, I believe that those few information that I have just mentioned isn't really that enough for everyone to get to know you. So, can you just tell us or share to us some of interesting facts about you that we have not mentioned during the introduction?
Okay. So, all right. I think things are it's good for me to share that we are five in this. We are five siblings in the family, and I
Mm-hmm.
am the youngest. And all of my sisters, my three sisters, and my one brother already have their children. So I basically have a lot of. I have five nephews and one niece. So that's why, sir, we really have a lot of children at home. So I love kids. That's one thing. And
Mm-hmm.
also, sir, when it comes to my sports, I mentioned that I do badminton during my leisure time. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I started at a very young age playing badminton as early as grade two. I think I was
Mm-hmm.
8 years old that time. I was already playing badminton, and you know what, sir? I can recall I was just introduced to that specific sports that I had no idea about, but it
Mm-hmm.
eventually made me very interested about the sport, and I trained for that, and I went to competitions even up until high school. So yeah, I am very passionate about playing badminton. So I think, sir, these were a few interesting things about me.
Mm. Well, since you have mentioned much about how much you love playing badminton, did
Yes.
you play for competition as well?
Yes, sir. As early as grade two, I already played competitions because here in the province, there's actually a certain competition wherein you compete with different schools, and then if
Mm-hmm.
fortunate enough, you'll win. You'll be representing you'll be representing the school, and then your town, and then eventually, if lucky enough, you'll be representing your region or even your yeah, basically Cebu province or Cebu City or whatever, wherever province you come from. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
joined a lot of competitions, sir, starting from grade two until the end of my high school life, consistently.
Oh, really? That's nice,
Yes.
huh? So, were you
Yes.
able to get any scholarship for playing badminton?
Well, yes, actually, sir. When I
Uh
was
huh.
in elementary, I went to a public school. It's
Mm-hmm.
Lataban Elementary School in Liloan, and because that was a public school, so there's no tuition fee. So when I
Yes.
graduated in elementary, that's when I started to become an athlete scholar. So I was
Mm-hmm.
very grateful to be an athlete because that was what paid me. That was what paid my tuition and high school days.
Mm.
But yeah,
Because
but
eventually in high school you went to a private school.
no, not still, sir. It's a public school, and
Oh, I see.
it's something that I did not regret because
Mm-hmm.
going to a public school is very fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then eventually, sir, when I graduated in high school, I was an athlete way back then. My when I entered college, when I went to college, I no longer pursued being an athlete because my mom asked me if my mom asked me if during the college time maybe I should put focus more on academics more
Mm-hmm.
than my extracurricular, my sports. So I said, oh sige, why not? I think it's about time that I should put most of my dedication to my academics, and so I granted
Mm-hmm.
my mom's wish. But
Mm-hmm.
I was also a scholar during that time, sir. So basically, never was a time in my entire education that I paid for my tuition. I'm very proud of that. Uh,
Wow, that's really very impressive of you,
thank you,
right?
sir.
So, and such a good model for everyone. How, di ba? How important the education is. Now, guys, for your questions, guys, we will definitely ask these questions later. But for now, we'll just have to get to know Dexter for a meantime. All right. So yeah, just reserve, just keep your questions right there, and definitely we will ask this. All right. Mm-hmm. And so you just mentioned that you have at the backstage you were actually mentioning that you have joined pageantries even before prior to Misters of Filipinas.
Yes.
Now, can you tell us what basically attracted you to try at least pageantry before even thinking of joining Misters of Filipinas?
Well, you
Was
know
there
what, sir?
anyone motivated you?
Well, basically, sir, I didn't really see myself joining pageants before. My first pageant was actually during my first year college. I was very young at that age, and that's something that I didn't really see myself. I didn't really see myself going to, sir, because well,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't at first I was not really into pageantry, and second, I don't think I fit to that industry. But you know, sir, in a batch of class, there will gonna be your friends who will push you, who will force you, and just say na, oh, screening pa lang yan, sige, join ka, ganyan, ganyan. Tapos meron pang iba sasabihin na, oh, screening pa lang yan, akala mo naman matatanggap ka. So parang minumotivate nila ako by their negative words,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm not offended in any way because I know they were my friends. So
Supportive in a way, yeah.
yeah, supportive in a way, in a different way. Oo. Tapos,
Harsh support.
kinda sir, kinda. So, ayun sir, natuloy talaga. It really pushed through and I screened for it. And I didn't think that I'd be able to make it. I didn't think that I'd be able to represent the university. And so that's when my pageant life started in the
Journey.
pageant industry. So and then right then, sir, I right after that I realized that pageantry could really help you improve yourself. You know, your personality, your stage consciousness, and
Mm-hmm.
I think most importantly, to conquer my fear with stage presence. I really had that. I mean, stage fright. Stage fright. I really
Mm-hmm.
had
Yes, that's right.
much of that when I was young, sir. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that pageantry had really helped me conquer
Mm-hmm.
my stage fright in a way. So I'm very thankful for my friends who were making harsh motivation to me way back then.
How did you feel? How did you feel, Dexter, when you got into the pageant for the very first time? So, how did you feel about it?
Sir, I was really scared. I was really scared. You know, there was even a segment that I thought of not going out on stage because I was really scared. I mean, my hands are shaking, my knees are shaking, and you know, it's like a minute of not knowing what to do. What would I do? I was never trained for this. I didn't have any experience for this. But then I kept on telling myself that how would you gain experience if you will not go for it?
Mm-hmm.
How will you improve yourself if you will not try for it? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that eventually happened, and now I'm an aspirant Mr. of Filipinas.
Wow. And your girlfriend is very much proud of you.
Well, she's not my girlfriend, or she's actually one of my closest friends. But, she called herself my girlfriend.
Oh my God, there you go. You are being you are being the night cling. I'm sorry to say that. So
But I love her so much. I love her.
all right. Okay, so uh who who as well motivated you or encouraged you to join Mr. So Filipinas eventually? And what was the reason behind of joining it?
Mhm. Well, actually, sir, I've known Mr. Su Filipinas long before. I know that it's its eighth edition this year, and actually, sir, I did even after joining several pageants at school, I still didn't see myself fit to be in a pageantry, especially in such a very famous and popular pageant, which is a national pageant. And so
Mhm.
when I was able to sort shortly conquer those stage fright, those stage when it comes to communication, and all my apprehensions when it comes to pageantry. I realized that what's your purpose? I mean, you join pageants and then you go to Misters of Filipinas, and then what are you gonna do there? Are you just gonna walk? Are you just gonna answer Q&A? Are you just gonna showcase yourself? And then
Mhm.
I really it really um it really motivated me to join pageants for a new purpose, for a new cause. And I've seen that Misters of Filipinas is a decent pageant. It's not like any other pointless pageants. And so I've seen how advocacy driven it is. I've seen that they really wanted to promote every single municipality or every single place that we represent. And so I think that's very important to be shown in the national stage and the national TV.
Mhm.
And so that's what really motivated me. And I'm very proud. I'm very proud to bring my hometown in the national stage of Misters of Filipinas. And I'm so excited.
Wow. And of course, we are very much excited to see what you can basically show to us.
Yes.
All
Thank
right. All right, Kling, don't push. He already denied you.
Cling.
Alright. Oh yeah, your questions will definitely be asked later, guys. So let's just give some time to get to know him. All right. So there you go. You also mentioned earlier that you worked for quite some time, but you
Yes.
eventually
Great.
resigned for some reasons.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about that? What kind of work did you have?
Uh-uh. Well, I was an internal auditor. I was an accountant in a private firm here in Cebu. It's actually
Mhm.
a gas company, an LPG company.
Mhm.
And yeah, I learned so many things with my boss, with my workmates. It's actually my first work, sir. It's actually my
Mhm.
first
After
employment.
you graduated. Mhm.
Yes, and I was very excited for that because first job will be quite really be sentimental to you because it's the first time you mingle
Of
with people
course.
of different ages. You mingle with opportunities and responsibilities as being employed. And so I was really grateful. I'm very grateful to the company that I have worked with, even with just a slight and a short term of time. I was able to really learn how it is to work in the real world. And that was what we've
Wow.
been waiting for going to school. We were really imagining how it is to be in the real world. We were
Mhm.
imagining how it is to work and to be paid, like to be given a salary. I was very excited for that, and I've had the chance to work, and I'm so glad that it was with them.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
that's basically what we always look forward to when while
Yes.
we are basically studying, while we are in college. That after we graduate, after a long time of studying and all that stuff, we are
Mm.
basically very much excited to receive our first to apply for a job and get our first job, and of course to receive our first salary.
Yes,
So
but
definitely that is, yeah. Mhm.
but you know what, sir? My first salary wasn't really on my pocket. I gave it to my mother because they say they say that if you give your first ever salary to your mother, then it will be an abundant work ahead of you,
Mhm.
and I
But
believe in that.
unfortunately,
Mhm.
But unfortunately, it wasn't abundant. Just joking.
It wasn't anything about that. It was just
Just
it
joking.
was yes, sir. It was about that. It was about
Because
that.
you lost the show. You lost the show.
No, sir.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, yeah, of course. Giving out is always the best fulfillment that we have.
I agree. That's
Mm-mm.
true.
All right. So, how are you preparing your your Mistress of Filipinas candidacy?
Well, actually, sir, no, I'm very lucky to be
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by to be with my team, to be surrounded with
Mm-hmm.
my team because, my handler and my team, basically as a whole, do really keep in touch with me on how am I
Mm-hmm.
doing with this, how do I still go to the gym, do I still read books, do I keep in touch with my Q&A mentor, and am I keeping in tight with my diet and so on. And these are the things I was never used to before, sir, because I used to live my life freely. I used to do all things by myself. The decisions basically are done by me. And so now that I'm vying for Mistress of Filipinas,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing all my best and I'm listening every single advice that the team has given to me. And so far, sir, it has been such a joy preparing for Mistress of Filipinas. And I do really appreciate Mistress of Filipinas. Kudos to them because they do really give um, structural instructions, time bound instructions, clear and concise, that it really made the candidates do our homeworks, our assignments as fun as it could be. And really, they have been so organized since the beginning. And I'm so happy to be with them.
Yes. And from that experience, from that team or preparation that you've been doing, which one is the most challenging for you?
Well, I would really say it's about preparing your body, sir. To have that big biceps, big abs. So basically, a good form of physique. It's very hard for me, sir, because I way back then I already went to the gym, but not as strict, not as really following a certain gym routine, and I really
Uh-huh.
had to learn it. The hard way. I really had to learn it so that to prepare myself in the stage, and it's
Mhm.
very hard. But
Mhm.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
And Marian Gijan is asking, what is a good quality of being part of Misters of Filipinas?
Of being part of
Mm-hmm.
Misters of Filipinas. Well, as a part of Misters of Filipinas, I would really say that a good quality that I carry with me as part of
Mm-hmm.
Misters of Filipinas is to be kind. I would really value kindness, sir, because you'll be meeting other candidates from different places, from Lawag, from Zamboanga, and they have their stories, they have their histories, and so it's kind of challenge. It's a sort of a challenge to mingle with people of different personalities. And sir, kindness is very important because it's your weapon. It's your weapon that you carry with you in meeting other candidates and also the organizers. And I know that it will be a fun brotherhood because I can say that my brothers and sisters of Filipinas have been so kind as well, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the group chats that we have. And I'm so excited to meet all of them, sir.
All right, so there you go. Being kind is
And
definitely one will bring you far.
yeah, that's true.
Okay, there's one question in here from JP Abrientes. He's asking, why did you choose Mr. Filipinas then Mr. World Philippines?
Well, I actually think I don't think, sir, if there is a Mr. World Philippines this year. I'm
Okay.
not sure, but it's actually my handler who presented the opportunity in front of me. That why would I not join Mr. So Filipinas? At first, I was really doubtful, and and also I've mentioned, sir, that I've known Mr. So Filipinas long before, and
Mm-hmm.
the legacy that it has established through the years is incredible. And I think it's what better way to introduce myself to the national stage is through joining Mr. So Filipinas. So why
Mm-hmm.
sisters?
Basically, because there was no competition, or yeah, there was no competition back then for
Mm.
Mr. World Philippines.
Yes. Mm.
Well, the very first competition or the very first edition that basically Mr. World Philippines had was in 2019. So,
Oh,
oh,
2019,
2018 rather, 2018.
2018. Oh.
And he competed in 2019. So, mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
All right. So, hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, let's just get this done.
That was done.
It's from Reina Fajardo. Oxina. Okay. Given a chance to choose between being right and being kind, what will you choose?
Well, definitely I'd be kind, sir, because I think if you're kind, you will never go wrong. You will always go the right way when you are kind. And it's basically one of the most important characteristics that everybody should have to be
Mm-hmm.
kind. Especially in this time, sir, in this time of pandemic.
That's right.
We have no idea what other people are going through. They have
Mm-hmm.
been struggling. The pandemic already is a struggle, but aside from the pandemic, they also have their personal struggles. And to be kind, let's say for example, when you see someone on the street, doing some unnecessary things that he is not used to doing, and instead of judging him, just try to think about what he is going through. Try to think
Mm-hmm.
about what he might be handling as of the moment, and then you'd eventually realize that be kind, just understand, and don't be rude. Don't be rude.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather be kind. Mm.
Yeah, that's basically the best way to be kind even without acting it out. To
Yes.
think of the background of what basically the person had gone through,
Oh,
why he is acting that way.
that's true, sir. I agree with that.
Okay, it's already a delayed question, but you're a graduate of accountancy. Do you believe that accounting or accountants are boring? How would you stop the thinking about accountants are to be accounting profession or to be to the accounting profession?
Well, you know what, sir? That's the notion that they give with the accountants. And, it takes one to know one. And as an accountancy graduate, I have undergone several activities during my undergraduate. We had Barrio Fiesta, we have federations, we have acquaintancy parties. We also do that. And, one thing that I can say, and I'm very proud to say, is that we accountants are very keen when it comes to schedules of activities. So, definitely, accountants are never boring. Definitely, accountants are never boring. And with the second question, how would you stop the thinking that accountants are not a profession? Well, try to get to know me. I would say try to get to know me, or try to get to know an accountant, because aside from, well, basically, I know a lot of accountants, and they are brilliant people. I would say they are brilliant people, because they are basically the ones who provide businesses the reason to thrive. They provide, financial statements. If you're familiar with it, sir, I'm sure. They are basically the lifeline of every business. Without accountants, a business wouldn't prosper. So definitely, it's never boring. It's never boring.
Mhm. Yeah, and you cannot actually judge one profession just from the person that you know,
Yes, that's true.
right?
That's
Sir
brilliant.
Yell.
Nagpapagalitan mo, sir.
All right. So, I think these questions aren't enough yet to get to know you. So, we'll be playing a Have You Ever Had game, which
Mm.
we've been doing. So, are you familiar with this?
Yes, have you ever been? Yes, we actually do that, sir, when we play cards.
Ay talaga? So, wag na lang din. Let's move na lang sa iba.
Magtitigan na lang tayo, sir.
Alright. So, there you go. Since yun lang na-prepare ko.
Wala
Now,
pala.
have all right. So, first off, have you ever had worn an oversized or undersized pair of shoes?
Well, definitely, sir, for sure. Most of the times, oversized. I actually have a a very funny story about that because I come from a humble family, sir. My family is not wealthy, was and is not wealthy. And well, I remember my father always used to buy me clothes that is one size larger than my usual size because his principle is that if you buy this kind of shoes or this kind of t-shirt or even pants.
Apparels.
Yes, these apparels, you can use them for long term. That's his principle. And my father is very futuristic actually. So, and it's something that I get irritated every time he does that because who would want to wear an oversized shirt, sir, diba? Who would want to wear an oversized shoes? Yeah, so definitely I had worn an oversized apparel. Mhm.
In general.
In general, thank you for that word, sir, apparel.
Have you ever had sneaked out from home?
Sneak out. Sneak out. Well, I cannot recall sneaking out at home, sir, because actually Liloan is in the province of Cebu. And
Mm-hmm.
I actually live my home our home is in the mountainous areas of Liloan. So I haven't really tried sneaking out because where would I go? It's kind of an isolated area far from the town. So I've
Mm-hmm.
never tried sneaking out, but when I went to college, sir, I actually got a dorm so that it would be convenient for me to go to school and go back to the
Mm-hmm.
dormitory. So, well, I tried. I don't think it's called sneaking out because there's nobody else in the dormitory. So I tried going out late at night to find food if
Mm-hmm.
I'm hungry, or sometimes I have a habit of studying late at night until dawn or until morning. Actually, I think that best fits my study behavior. So yeah, definitely I sneaked out several times
Yeah, for a very valid reason.
for a very valid reason.
Right, that's right. That's good. Okay, how about have you ever had wished to be a girl?
Wish to be a girl. No, no, I've never wished to be a girl. But before I tried, I there was a time that I asked why am I born as a male or something like hypothetical questions or why
Mm-hmm.
am I born as a male?
Curiosity.
And yeah, curiosity, that's the term. I never wished, but I asked myself or even my friends, why are we born this way? Why are we born in this gender? And you know what, sir? The answer to that question is a lifelong overdue process. It's about finding what's your purpose and why are you born this way. So yeah, that's it.
Hi.
But for sure, I never wish to be a girl. Though I have three sisters, I never wish to be like them.
We should ask Lady Gaga why we are born this way.
That's a very witty. That's a very witty, sir.
Ay, nako. Natuwa ka doon.
Natawa ako, sir. I didn't see it coming.
Anyways, have you... Parang, ewan. Nahiya ako.
And then, sir, actually, that's very, brilliant idea. We should like asking Lady Gaga. Maybe mapansin niya in one of her, when we tweet, maybe she would reply, why are we born this way?
All right. So, have you ever had a crush on your instructor or professor or a teacher back in high school?
Well, definitely not, sir. Maybe, I was really impressed. Well, actually, my teachers, I consider them as my parents. Sometimes when I grew up a little bit older, I consider them as my friends, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
I've never imagined having a crush on my teacher because
Mm-hmm.
maybe I'm very impressed with them, sir, but never a crush. But I have a very remarkable teacher I can remember when I was in college. She was actually one of my professors, and I really admire her so much. I really admire her so much. Sometimes I even thought about not learning so much about the topic and learning about her character and the way she speaks because I tell you, sir, she's very classy. She's very articulate, and sometimes I just wish to be just like her. I just wish to have that communication skills just like her. So yeah, but with a crush, I think, sir, love, familiar love, but never romantic love, siguro.
Of course, crush is not always what we mean as
You mean a relationship?
romantic
Yeah.
romantic romantic admiration.
Yes,
But
that's
yeah, it's just a kind of admiration that we, it's not even puppy. It's just an admiration. It's just an admiration. Yes, hello
true.
Norman Despi. Good evening to you. Okay.
So,
Yes, we have so much questions in here. Hello Ariel, thank you so much for dropping by.
love sir.
Well,
Ariel.
we've got so much question in here. I think we don't need to talk about some social issues because they're already asking it. But these are basically pageant questions. So we'll try to take a look on this later on. Okay.
Okay.
So let's continue. Parang magto 2 hours tayo and 3 hours, ha?
Sir, wag naman. Baka mag-overnight.
Have you ever had worn your brother's clothes?
Yes, definitely, sir. You know what my brother's
Mhm.
possessions are also happen. Also happen to be my possessions, and
Mhm.
we're never really too selfish about it. In fact, it's really okay to wear someone else's clothes, especially if it's your brother's, because
Mhm.
that is what family is. That is what family is. That's how we function as family.
Walang awayan.
Walang awayan, walang
I
awayan.
see.
In fact, sir, sometimes my brother would offer his shoes to me. Yes, well,
Oh.
actually, lately he used to offer because my
Who has
brother,
bigger size?
in terms of shoe size, sir.
Shoes, of course. We're talking about shoes. Oh my God, Dexter.
Well, uh, it's me, sir. It's me because sometimes because I usually let my brother borrow my shoes, then him letting him borrow his shoes to me. So I think my shoes would fit more to him because I'm a bit larger in size, in shoe
Mhm.
size. In shoe size.
Oh my God, Dexter, huh?
Mm.
Have you ever had sold any of your pre-loved items?
Well, definitely not, sir. First, because I don't have much of apparels in general. I don't have much of that. And second, I do keep clothes for long term. I do
Mhm.
keep clothes for long term. If there's a point that I would no longer use it, then I'd rather give it to my brother or
Mhm.
to my sister's husband or to someone else who could fit. Basically, to my relatives, but definitely not sold,
All right.
not sell it.
Well, we have a viewer all the way from Indonesia. Purno mo
Ah,
sigit Azli nga pop. Thank you so much for
wow.
watching. All right.
Ganda ng pangalan.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Okay. Coffee madness is best with.
Who said it?
Have you ever had fallen in love with your best friend?
No, no, no. Well, no, never, sir. Because your best friend is your confidant. Your best friend is the very first person who will defend you. So I think I'd rather keep it that way than to
Mhm.
try to disrupt it and go beyond the limits of our friendship. I love my friends, especially my best friends. I love my friends. Yes, I love my friends,
Mhm.
but definitely will never cross that way of being into a relationship or falling in love. Mm.
There you are again, Kling. You have been you have been denied for many times. So please don't insist. Please don't insist. Seemingly you're blocking those who really want you know, to court who
Sibling.
really want to fall in line. Please don't do that, Kling.
She's
Stop
very.
it.
Ay nako.
All
Mm.
right. Have you ever had eaten some street food, especially chicken isaw?
Chicken isaw. It's the intestines or no chicken isaw. I'm not really
Yes.
contact. Ah, yeah, it's the.
Chicken
Yes,
intestine.
have several times I've eaten. Well, basically, I think I've eaten every single street food, especially barbecue, but except liver. I do not eat
Mhm.
liver. I don't like the taste of liver, sir. But with chicken isaw, yes, I do. I love it. I love it.
But you know what? Liver is a good source of iron, so you should have to try that. You should really have to eat. Yeah, it's really a good source of iron. Yeah.
Oh, really,
Mm-hmm.
sir? Well,
Yes.
maybe, sir, maybe it's you who's gonna convince me to eat chicken liver.
No, I'm not convincing you. I'm just telling you the benefit of eating or liver.
Sure. Sige, sir.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna give it a try.
All right. Diba?
Really?
Have you
Yeah.
ever Yes, that's right. Have you ever had too much fun at a party?
Yes, yes. It's
I'm
making
not
the best.
joking. I'm not making up I'm not making up stories, yeah. So have you
Thank you.
ever had enough? Mhm.
Yes, yes, definitely, sir. It's living my life. It's living your life to the fullest. But always remember your limitations. I always do keep in mind my limitations, and I'm just so glad that I'm always surrounded. Whenever I go to parties or celebrations, occasions, I'm always surrounded with good people, and the type of people you'd be able to go home safe. And yes, actually, the one who commented, Athena, she's one of my barkada, so she's one of the few people who are good. Yes, but I definitely had experience. Mm.
Good, good to know. Yes, hello Gilbert. Thank you so much for watching once again. Gilbert Golgota Bolima, thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so just keep going. Oh my God, we have so many questions in here. All right, we will definitely entertain your questions, guys. So, have you ever had tried cutting classes? There was someone a while back saying that you sneaked out from a class. Now, this is the best question for that. Have you ever had
Mm.
tried cutting classes?
Well, yes, definitely, sir. But not in high school because during high school we're still babies. We're still afraid of our teachers, so not. But during college, yes, I tried cutting classes, and there were times when I cut classes to wander around, go to malls. But there were also times which when I didn't intentionally go to a certain class because there's actually a certain scenario in the past, sir, where you have to prioritize your major classes and some sort of miss your minor classes, so I really had to sacrifice some of my minor classes to study for the major classes. I don't think that's cutting classes, but yeah, I definitely did experience cutting classes.
Is this is this true? All the way from Puerto Rico?
Yes, yes, sir. I know Myra, she's a very good family friend.
Wow, thank you so
From Puerto.
much. Wow, how supportive you are, guys.
And it's the
Mhm,
reach that your page have
mhm.
attained, sir.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, guys, for this. Um, hmm. Now, I think that's more than enough to know you, Dexter. You have already revealed many things to us. So, yeah. Yes,
Thank
guys,
you.
we will
Thank you.
definitely we will definitely ask your questions when we return. So we just have a short break. All right, we will get back to you guys. So stay tuned.
Stage.
All right, we are back, and thank you so much, guys, for staying with us. Who? Ang daming questions. Now, let's try to take a look on all these questions. So I'm actually back reading all the questions. May mga questions nang nawala. Sorry guys, may mga questions nang natabunan sa dami ng mga ano dito. Okay, here we go. Oh, we have already answered this. Oh, here we go. From Gilbert Golgota Bolima. Should pageants be allowed to enforce height restrictions?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think so that height is something that's very important in pageantry, especially if a pageant is for a cause, for an advocacy, because her height has nothing to do with what you advocate for. Height has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with what you have in your mind and in your heart. And even Miss Universe did not have so much rules when it comes to height. So I don't think height is a must when you want to join pageant because it's your dedication, it's your purpose when why you join pageant. So definitely height has nothing to do with it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Substance substance really matters.
Yes, that's it, sir. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, you're welcome. And from JP Abarientos, he's asking, would you rather go right where nothing is left or go left where nothing is right?
Well, I would definitely go right where nothing is left, and I don't really know what specific thing he means when he say nothing is left. But it's always good to be right because at the end of the day, you only need yourself. Even though you go on a certain place or you go to a certain direction or to venture into a certain endeavor, you don't need anybody else. You need only yourself and your faith in God, and definitely you'll be on your right destination.
And by the word itself, right
Right.
means you are doing what basically is right.
That's true, sir. It's
Di
true.
ba?
That's true.
Ayun. What a
Maybe you can
question.
answer the questions in behalf of me.
Nah, I'm just trying to, you could actually answer better than I do.
Thank you for that,
What
sir.
makes you blush?
What makes me blush?
Mhm.
That's a tough question. But what makes me blush is siguro my the children at home, the children we have at home, my nephews and niece, they make me blush because every time I see them, sir, their innocence and their eyes and the candid acts that they do, it's something that I do not expect sometimes, and it really makes me blush because I really see the eyes of these kids as someone who have bright future. I do really see that in children, and it really makes me blush, sir. Just a simple act, like for example, this morning, sir, I my one of my nephews actually just went home. They went from a vacation and they went home, and then the first time the first thing he told me when he saw me is that why did I shave my mustache, my hair above my
Mustache.
leg? That was the first thing that he told me, and I was shocked. Why would you ask that? I mean, it's the candidness of a child. it's
Mhm.
it's the innocent things that they do. It makes me blush. Yeah, they really.
And children are always innocent.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's right.
Whew. What's your view on cancel culture?
Mm. Well, I think sir, cancel culture has been very rampant now, and I think it should not be tolerated. But sometimes I don't really think that to to limit someone from doing something, like for example a toxic behavior or
Mhm.
something that's not good for the society, I don't think cancel culture is the solution. Sometimes we need to reprimand, call them out, or tell them the reason why it's not good to do that. It's not really cancel
Mhm.
culture because I think cancel culture is actually a form of cyberbullying, isn't it, sir? I think it's because calling someone and influencing other people to cancel someone just because of a certain behavior, I don't think that's the solution. The solution is to reprimand. The solution is to tell him what went wrong and what he could do to make it right. And it's never cancel culture that's the solution to that act or behavior.
What do you think is the reason, or at least the principal cause of cancel culture, if it's really happening right now?
Well,
Mhm.
to be honest, sir, I think that why people do cancel culture is because they know that they cannot do it alone. Like, for example, if someone is showing an act of immorality or someone who is doing an act of a behavior that's not good to the society or to a certain person, reaching that person out with you alone wouldn't help. And I think that's the mindset that they have in mind. So as a solution, what they do is to post on social media, cancel culture, like cancel this stuff, cancel this behavior, and then eventually people will follow. Other people will follow and try to imitate what they are doing, what they are canceling. And yes, it helps. It is effective, but and somehow it kinda spreads negativity, especially in social media. And in times like this, I don't think such negativity is needed in the social media platform and the society as a whole.
Yeah, I think social media should be should be used responsibly and
Mhm.
accountably, because yeah, that's right. Cancel culture is basically happening, and we
Mhm.
should have to keep in mind that culture is our identity,
Yeah,
and canceling this culture that we have will take away who we are.
true. That's true, sir. I agree.
So,
That's very sad. That's very
whew, ganun na pa.
sad. Napahu.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Oh, describe yourself. Well, I've always been very passionistic, especially in my endeavors and whatever I venture into. Yeah, that's one thing I value the most. And I always pair it with hard work, Sir Francois.
Mhm.
I truly believe that it is hard work that will bring you to your destination. Being passionate and putting hard work in it will make it happen. And the third word would be family oriented. That's very important to me. I value my family so much because they are my first line of defense. You know, when everybody else is thinking bad about you, your family will never leave you behind. It's your family who's going to be the very first person to comfort you and to be with on your side. So, yeah, these are the things that I truly see in myself, and I continually instill it for the rest of my life.
Wow, diba? So there you go. Whew. Kling is asking, when is the best time to have a coach?
Sir, you're lost.
I'm
Sir.
here.
Hello, sir. Welcome back.
I'm not lost.
You're not lost. When is the best time to have
I just
coffee?
I just highlighted you for Kling.
Highlight me for clean. Well, when is the best time to have coffee? I personally would want to have coffee if I am with the right person. The person who would give me so much words of inspiration, so much words of motivation, and when I am with someone who I know I would learn so much. Because I think, sir, in every good conversation, it deserves a coffee. It deserves a coffee. But yeah, during way back in college, I usually drink coffee. I had so much caffeine in my blood because I need to stay awake. Yeah.
Wow. That's too much of a coffee. But you know what, for me, when
Mhm.
this is being asked to me, I used to say the best time to have a coffee is in the morning.
Why, sir? Why? In the morning,
Wow!
why?
Because that's the best time to take coffee, to drink coffee.
That's actually what my mother used to doing, sir. That's actually what my mom does as well.
Yeah, diba?
The morning.
It's in the morning, yeah, to make you more you know energetic. It boosts
Energetic.
your energy, yeah.
It's
So
true.
for the whole day, diba? Because if you drink coffee, if I drink coffee at night or late afternoon, it would really cause me trouble at night because I want, yeah, I
Tendency is
can't
tendency.
I can't sleep as early as I could. Diba? So the
Happens.
best time for me is in the
Morning.
morning. Diba? No reasons.
No reasons.
Yeah. All right, from Gilbert Golgota Bolima, is press is free press important in a democratic country?
Well, yes, yes, free press is important in a democratic society because you know what, sir, in our country, there really are isolated areas where
Mhm.
information were not delivered through them to them. Such certain issues or issues that are currently happening in the country or even in the international countries are not being made available to them. And that's very hard, especially for them to not be aware with what is currently happening. But, you know, with free press, I believe, sir, that it's also important to deliver and to obtain authentic news. I believe that's one
Mhm.
important quality that the press should also instill in what they do, and they should function that way because, well, basically, press freedom is the life, one of the lives of a country, and it's how we get informed, well informed, and most importantly, it should be delivered with authenticity, and it should be real and straightforward.
And from the word democratic itself, right? It's
Mm.
for the common people. So the freedom, basically, the
Freedom.
freedom on press or press freedom should definitely be played in a democratic society.
Yes, definitely, sir.
Mhm. Okay, because how could you call it democratic if you don't have
Freedom.
the freedom of the
Or
press.
if you are restricted.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what do you think is the best profession deserves? What do you think the best profession that deserves highest salary?
Mm. Well, to be honest, sir, I don't really think of any profession that deserves the
Mhm.
highest salary because it's hard work. It's our labor that we provide, and it's how we provide for our families as well. So we should be every type of profession, whatever it may be, should be given
Mhm.
just and reasonable salaries.
Mhm.
I cannot recall something, but if it's not really strictly a profession, I would say it's a mother. Because a mother does everything. A mother, raises a child from zero up until adults or up until their age goes up, and I think a mother does everything basically in the house. So if it's not a profession, I would say mother deserves to have the highest salary.
I definitely agree with you because a mother can be a carpenter.
Correct.
Yeah, di ba? They can even be a fisherman. They can
Yes.
even be a tubero, di ba? Yeah,
Yeah,
because especially for single mothers, or those mothers who are basically working at home,
mm,
or they call themselves housewife.
that's
Um,
right.
you know, when their husband is actually in the absence of their husband while working, right, for the family, our mothers are the ones who basically does everything at home.
Everything, everything at
Diba?
home.
They are a gardener.
True.
Diba?
Yes,
They,
sir. And sometimes our
Mhm.
fathers do the job of a father, the job of men. So
Yeah,
mother,
that is why.
yeah,
Those jobs are basically, well, in a culture, in a very manly culture, those kind of jobs are basically for men.
for
So,
men.
yeah, and our mothers, our mothers do those kind of jobs. So,
Yes.
they are very well rounded.
And they deserve so much respect for that, sir.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, here's a question from one of our Suki now. Arnelius, I'm really sorry that it came too late. Okay, because of the many questions that were actually dropping on Facebook. So, good evening po, Sir Francois. Yes, good evening to you and to our candidate, Mr. Dexter Tundag. Accountancy grad pala si Mr. Candidate. Ask po namin kung makabuluhan bang bilangin ang pagkakamali.
Tagalog,
Mhm.
makabuluhan bang bilangin ang pagkakamali? I don't know, sir, how you translate it in English, but if the way I understand it in Filipino, in Tagalog, kung makabuluhan bang bilangin ang pagkakamali? Yes, well, yes, I would say that when you go to the accounting profession, when you go to the field of accounting, it's very important to keep track of what went wrong, not just what went right, but what went wrong, because we actually have the principle in accountancy where everything should be measurable, and you cannot measure something if it had been into a difficulty or it had been into mistakes. So the way I understand the question, yes, it's very important to keep track of everything, not just what went right, but also what went wrong, especially when you deal with numbers. Yes, if I'm gonna
Why
relate it
do
to accountancy.
if I may ask, because the question is basically very broad,
Very broad.
right? Yeah,
That's true.
it's very broad that could basically applicable to life. So,
Mm,
you mentioned a while ago that it is necessary for you to count the numbers. I count
yes.
the pagkakamali, the
Pagkakamali.
mistakes,
Keep
di
track
ba?
of pagkakamali.
Oo. Well, it is necessary for you to track the. I mean, to count the mistakes, right? So
Yes.
how often should one or should a person um, get mistakes? If you were to
Um,
ask, how often should a person commit mistake?
Well, human as we are, sir, we are very
Mhm,
much vulnerable for mistakes. We do
mhm,
that because that is how human beings are meant to act. We do mistakes. We do one mistake that is forgivable. But if we do the same mistake twice, and I think that's, I don't know, that's being stupid. I think because when you commit mistakes, you should have learned so much from it, and you should have made the best out of yourself to not repeat that mistake again. But if you happen to do that again, I don't think you've learned anything from the past mistake, and that's very sad to know if that happens.
So that means if you have to repeated your um, your mistake, that's
Hmm.
already intended.
I would say, sir, yes, or yes, I would say that's intended. I think, sir, because basically you've known what
That's
you've
right.
been through, you know what you've been through, and you have to make sure that you'll never do the same mistake again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But God told us to help to forgive one who have committed 77 times 7.
Sir, but we're not
Yeah,
God.
we have to commit we have to forgive our brother 70 times 7. See? Alam mo
Yeah,
yun?
that's true. But that's true also, sir. But it's okay to forgive. But how
Mhm,
about those who are affected by the mistake that you
mhm.
did? You can never give back or take away what you have caused them. So we
Oh,
should be very responsible for all the things that we do.
oh,
If it's
see?
okay, it's okay if we commit mistakes only for ourselves, sir. But in some ways, our mistakes do affect other people, and we do not tolerate that. We do not let that happen. Mm.
Mhm.
So,
Ayun. My God. If given a chance, if given a chance, would you rather use trucks or speedo for swimmer or for swimwear and why?
well,
I
I
believe
think
trunks. This must be
uh,
trunks. This must be trunks. If given a chance, would you rather wear trunks or speedo for swimwear
mm,
competition for the pageant and
mm.
why? Mm-hmm.
Well, if I am not mistaken, sir, speedo is a form of swimwear that's a lot more sexier than trunks.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Is that right, sir? Speedo is a bit sexier than trunks because I'm not really familiar
Um,
with
I think
speedo.
speedo is just basically a brand because
A brand.
even speedo brand they also have trunks. So
Mm-mm. Well, if I'm given the chance to choose, sir, of course I would choose the one that's less sexier, less revealing. I would want to use that because first, we do not really need to reveal so much about someone's body for as long as you can see that his physique is okay. Him
mhm,
going to the gym had really is really seen on his body. And you
mhm,
know what, sir? On a swimwear competition, it's not really important to reveal so much of your skin because at the end of the day, it's a wholesome pageant. It's a
mhm,
pageant that's that envisions itself to inspire people to
mhm,
make make use of their bodies for the good, to
mhm,
provide an inspiration to other people that going to the gym is basically taking care of your skin,
mhm.
taking care of yourself, and it's a form of being physically fit. So if that these things are shown to the public, then it's already fine. It's already fine.
All right. So yeah, I don't see any wrong with that as
Mm.
long as it's decent.
Yes, it's decent.
Yeah, I think that's the proper word or that's
Yeah, that's exactly the term.
the proper
Decent.
term to
Yes.
to look um for a swimwear. As long as it's decent, I think I don't see any problem with that at all. Because
Yes.
I would really love to. Ay, buhay. All right, let me just check. So, sa dinami-dami ng questions, I love you, Dex, late ka siya. Ayun. There are a lot of questions right here.
Hmm.
Just give me one sec, guys, ha. Mm, Thanks po, Sir Francois, sa pag-follow up ng questions ko. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
We learn our mistake. We learn from our mistakes. That's right. Oh my God, ang daming questions. Thank you so much, guys, for being very, very, very interactive. I love this group. All right, here's a question. For you, what is the most depressing issue facing by young men today? And
Young,
what do you think is the best solution to this problem?
mm, young men. Um, sir, I've seen young men nowadays who do take part in taking care of their self. Trying to invest in skincare, trying to be. I don't think if it's the right term, but I would say trying to be vain and taking care of how they look, how
Uh-huh.
their bodies have been. So, and sir, most often than not, I think that when you do that, especially for young men, they are being accused to be too vain or too narcissistic or sometimes gay. Well, it's there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I don't think it's fair for other people to associate all these basic self care to being gay because it has nothing to do with it in the first place. Because you know what, sir? It's basic self care, taking care of your skin, being narcissistic, being conscious about how you look. It's basic self care, and after all, sir, it's your responsibility to take care of yourself because if you wouldn't, then who else would? So yeah, I think that's the most pressing issue that young men faces today,
I see.
and I think so that leads to no, that leads to one issue which is relative to toxic masculinity. It should not be tolerated. There's no way for toxic masculinity to exist in society.
Okay. Laban Kuya Dex. Ayun.
Thank you.
Are you someone who would rather keep the truth or tell a lie? Coming from Kling.
Well, I don't see any reasonable reason, well, if that makes sense, any reasonable reason,
Any
to,
valid reason?
any valid reason to tell a lie. You should always tell the truth. But if you are hindered to tell the truth, then never tell a lie. So I'd rather keep the truth because at the end of the day, there's no secret that won't come out. Truth will always prevail. And, in the absence of telling the truth, just never tell a lie.
That's right. And yeah, even white lie is still a lie. So
Yes, yes.
still a lie, regardless of how grave would that be or
Mm,
how venial would that be. It's still a
yes,
lie.
still a lie. It's still a sin.
Yeah, of course. Oh my God, I'm such a sinner. Very,
That
very Tito Boy daw ang tanong. Ayan. Do you think male pageant is in or not? Why or why not? Oh my God, Rainiel Perez.
is in or
Mhm.
not? Well, it's in. It's really in. Why? Because pageantry as a whole is purposeful. If it's not like any other pointless pageants, it's very purposeful. And it's not just female pageants. It's not just pageant for women that do care for the environment or do care for a specific cause. We men also, we men also do care for the environment, for the society. So it's definitely relevant. Male pageants are relevant, and it's very timely for us to do Mistress of Filipinas, especially in this pandemic, in this very struggling time. We need to inspire people. We need to show people that we can do all things for as long as we unite and we cooperate with each other. And that's the goal of Mistress of Filipinas.
Oh
Particular.
my God. Di ba? Ano pa bang sasabihin ko? Why should you be the next Mr. Filipinas?
Pang grand finals na yun. Parang pang grand
True.
finals. Well, I
Mhm.
believe, sir, that a Mistress of Filipinas should be someone who's ready and someone who understands the responsibilities behind it, someone who do understand the organization also and is willing to take the responsibility, because I see that Mr. Sub Philippines, you are given things to do. You are not
Mhm.
just there to model, you speak in behalf of the organization. And I myself, seeing myself, I know I'm capable to do that in behalf of Mr. Sub Filipinas. And that's why I think one quality that's very important, to be a Mr. Sub Filipinas, that's one thing I value the most.
Well, being just part of the Misters of Filipinas this year's edition or of any edition, that's already one step ahead.
Yes, that's true. Mhm.
Mhm.
That's an
Another
achievement.
question from Gilbert Golgota. What is your best non-physical asset and why do you say so? So this question was actually asked to Samantha Lowe back in 2019.
Really, sir? Well, I would say it's my
Binibini
personality.
Pilipinas. Mhm.
It's definitely my personality because um, I see my personality as very easy to cope with other people. I see my personality as someone who can adapt with different
Mhm.
personalities as well. And I think that's very important because, as a person, as a human being, you cannot do it alone. You need guidance from knowledgeable people. You need friends who will
Yeah.
keep you acquainted with also. And I think my personality would be my weapon, the greatest weapon that I carry when I meet other people. So yeah, it definitely would be my personality.
'Di ba? Oh, hindi yun naisip ni ano, joke.
How about you, sir? What's the best non-physical asset?
I don't have them.
Your brains are your brain because you're intelligent.
No, I am not. That's still a physical asset.
Oh, really, sir?
Yes.
Mm.
So, values. Those are non-physical assets.
Yes, I agree.
All
I
right.
agree.
So, there are actually a lot of questions on this or repeating these questions. It's coming from now. I'll just pull up the one from our YouTube viewer, Jomar Digamon. When is it okay not to be okay, and when is it okay? When is it not okay to be okay? Or
Oh,
binaliktad niya. When is it not okay not to be okay, and when is it okay not to be okay?
oh. Well, sir, the moment I heard that question during Binibining Pilipinas, I was really speechless. That's a really tough question, but if I were to answer that, sir, I would say that time really is of the essence. Time is very important. I would say that it's okay to not be okay for a short period of time, but it's not okay to stay there for long. You should move on. You should, embrace the future, because the future that's ahead of you is much more brighter than what it is in the past, and even brighter than what it is in the present. So it's not okay to not be okay, and it's actually good to admit that you're not okay, because it basically is resiliency. That's what we human beings are. We admit that we can be vulnerable. We admit that we have our down times, and what's important is we come back stronger and we carry with us the learnings that we had and those times that we're not okay. So I
Mhm.
actually think that that's how I perceive the question, and that's how I'm gonna answer the question, sir.
Oh, see? And remember that no answer that is wrong or no
Mm,
answer that because all answers are basically considered as right. All right. So,
that's true. That's true. Mhm.
hello, Rian J. Sese Pelayo. Thank you for watching all the way from Masbate. All
Hello,
right.
hello.
Hello, Junie. Your question was already asked, so I believe that you were able to hear that. So, what is the essence of being a man instead of being a woman?
Well, I believe that the essence of being a man is to protect everyone, not just women, not just the
Mhm.
children, but everything that surrounds us, because we are limited. We're living in limited resources. We are living with people who are vulnerable, and I think men are often told to be just masculine. Men are often told to be just straightforward, but we also have our emotions. And in that alone itself, we having emotions give us the ability to connect with emotions that women have, because They say that men sometimes do not show their emotions. I don't believe in that, sir, because we understand every single emotion, and it's men. It's up to us on how we protect women, how to protect children, how to protect the society, and most importantly, protect ourselves.
Oh, hindi, ano yun ha? More than 30 seconds.
my time limit pala, sir.
Yun.
Almost limit.
Di ba? So, another question coming from Gilbert Golgota, Bolima. There is a saying, high risk equals high reward. May I ask, what have you risked to get to the title, to get the title? Or
Well, there
what
are
will you risk? Yan. Yun na lang
what
siguro.
what
Let me
will
rephrase it. What will you risk to get the title? Because it's
you
for the future pa lang.
well, before the pageant, sir, before this competition, I really had so much time for myself. Leisure time, playing badminton, going out with friends. And I think if I will be Mistress of Filipinas, and which I hope so to be, I would really definitely sacrifice and risk most of this. I would really sacrifice most of this because I know that when you have the responsibility of Mistress of Filipinas, you're asked to do so much on behalf of the organization. And that's something that is worth the risk. It's something that's worth the risk, I would say.
That's right. Whew, another from Gilbert. If you had to give a talk to hundreds of teachers in a high profile gathering, what topic would you want to discuss with them and why? This is very pageant questions. Mhm.
Well, I would have the privilege. I would be very privileged to talk in front of these high esteemed people, to talk about my advocacy, my advocacy. I personally advocate for education. I experienced firsthand how transformative it has been, not just to me, but to my family. And these teachers are, the first-hand experienced people of how they've seen education as something that could really change the lives of a young child. You can give an empty-headed child the basic life skill, a sport, a learning, or something that they can do for a living, and they will really thrive hard in life to survive for themselves. And that's basically education, sir. I don't think that education is something that's just limited in the four corners of your classroom or of your laptop if you're doing modules. I think that education is very broad, that even a basic life skill that could provide them sustainability with their lives, that's also a form of education. So we see a lot of online sellers, diba? We see a lot of online sellers, and whoever taught them to do online selling, it's the skill that they were taught, that, oh, you should advertise this thing, you should give description, and then someone will comment mine, and then eventually it's a sale. Yeah, so that's very important. That's already education, the way I perceive it. So I would be very privileged to talk about that in front of teachers, and I would like to share just my story of how I have obtained my education.
Oh, di ba? Hmm. Who would you include in a 500 peso bill? And why me? Sabi ni Jen.
She's actually my classmate, my batchmate in college. That question was very
Loko-loko
funny.
ka.
Funny.
Loko-loko ka, Che, ah. All right, here's a question coming from Arnelius. Um, what would you regret if you die tomorrow?
Well, nothing.
If
I
you
wouldn't
will die
regret.
tomorrow.
If unfortunately I would die tomorrow, hopefully not, knock on the wood. I would regret nothing because you know what, sir, growing up, even at the very young age, 23, I can say that I've lived my life the most. I've lived my life and I have tried so many things in my life which I never thought I would do. But if unfortunate enough, I know that it's God's plan. And you know what, sir? I don't wanna sleep. I don't wanna close my eyes on a coffin, being regretful. That's something that I would never imagine in the picture.
That's right. So simply meaning you simply mean that you have you are very much ready regardless of what's happening tomorrow, right? And
Yeah,
that's basically should be our
mindset,
mentality, and yeah,
mentality.
our mindset that we should not be afraid of death because
Mhm.
that's actually happening. That's most
That's
of
our
us are
destiny.
thinking of death, diba?
Mm.
So Yes,
Thank you so
ano nga ba sasabihin ko?
much.
We should always be ready of what's happening tomorrow so that we won't be feeling like regretting things when we
Mm,
die. Mhm. That could
yes,
definitely happen. That we definitely regret when we die
yes,
of when
it's
we
possible,
die.
sir. It's possible. Death is
Mhm.
something that's
Oh,
unforeseen.
yes. All right. From Parejo, is vaccination a choice or mandate? Explain, wow, and elaborate your answer.
Grabe naman. Well, with
I'm s-
vaccination, no, thank you. Well, with vaccination, sir, I firmly believe that it should be made choice. It should be a choice because, I think it's a basic right for us to have been given the choice from the very beginning because it's our life. But let's just remember the times when we were very hungry for a solution to a certain problem, especially with the coronavirus. We have been very hungry for a vaccine, and I encourage everyone to get vaccinated because those times that we were very hungry, we were looking for the solution, and that's the vaccine. And now that it's finally here, we are hesitant because of a lot of hearsays or a lot of misinformations. And I think, sir, the very important thing about that is the fact that we've done something not just for ourselves but for the society. So I encourage everyone to get vaccinated.
wow, yeah. Hopefully, everyone gets vaccinated so that you'll be able to, to
Live the
feel
normal life.
secured, to feel
True.
secured at least. Mhm.
It's
Kasi
security.
feeling secured is really, very helpful as well
Yes,
for our mental health.
it's true, sir.
Mhm. Athena, this was already answered. Hustle culture, or mm,
Okay.
we have some question in here, but let me just try to check on that. Okay, here we go. What is the best asset? Ay, no, 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 no. Ito pala. In our modern age, do you think it is appropriate for women to initiate courtship? Why or why not?
Well, I think that women courting men is women empowerment. It's a form of women empowerment. It was the culture. It was the culture that we had that men are supposed to run after women or men are supposed to go after women in court. But it's love is not structured really strictly in that way, I think. And I would say that love knows no gender or whether who initiates, because at the end of the day you'd be sad if you're single. So if you're a woman, why not take the initiative?
Wow. Wow.
And it's much
you know,
more it's much more formal to see a man courting a woman, but if a woman really do likes the guy, then why not take the initiative?
wow.
I don't see anything wrong
well,
with that.
I don't see that this could also be considered for equality because
Mm,
on my point of view on this kind of culture, like
culture.
women courting men, no, I don't see it appropriate.
Mm,
I don't see it appropriate. Maybe because due to my values
mm,
and due to the tradition that we have grown grown throughout, no,
mm,
and I don't see that it should be right.
mm.
Well,
Well, that's how you live your principles, sir. And I also understand that, and I respect that so much. Thank you for sharing,
okay,
sir.
no, that's fine. All right, so it's from Nad. There is a quote saying, "Don't assume unless otherwise stated." When is the last time that you assumed for something or someone, but you end up hurting and disappointed? Oh, heartbreak.
Well, if if he has been
May
watching,
pinag-uugutan ka, Nad?
may pinaghuhugutan. Well, if he has been watching from the very beginning of this live session, sir, it was really the graduation day. I really assumed that it will happen, and we've been waiting for that for a long time, but it never happened. So I was really upset. I was disappointed, but just like what I've said, I understood the reason behind that, and now I'm fine. I'm fine with it. Mm-mm.
Mhm.
He's been using
All right.
accountancy skills.
Here's another question coming from Michael Hines Katipay. If you were given a chance to serve your country, would
Mm.
you accept it and why?
But definitely, I would be very privileged to serve my country, maybe in the military or being a public servant or whatever it may be that will contribute to the betterment of his country. But I don't think, sir, that you really need to be in a certain position to serve the country because by being an individual, a responsive, an obedient individual, following the rules of the country, and of course, knowing the rules and the laws, I think that's already a form of participation in making our country better. Because at the end of the day, sir, a better country, a good country, a progressive country is made of amazing people, responsive people, and that is how we should live our everyday lives.
Oh, oh, anong question to? All right, guys, we don't ask political questions, so we do apologize, guys, that we won't be able to ask political questions. All right. Wow. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Oops, Marky, I do apologize. I cannot be able to ask your question. Yeah, I'm okay. Let me just try to take to. Mhm. Here we go from Ridon Padua. What thing would you like to try but afraid to?
Mm. Thing that I would like to try. I would say I would really like to try paragliding. That's actually there is actually a paragliding here in Cebu, sir. It's in Oslob. And it's a very fun. It's very fun. I can see in videos that it's very fun, but sometimes I think I'd rather not do it first because I feel like I might die, and second, I have fear of heights. Yeah, but I think it would be such an amazing experience to try paragliding, and we have it here
Oh,
in Cebu. We have it here in Cebu.
oh, nice. What does a debtor lose the benefit? When does a debtor lose the benefit of the period?
When you transfer
Oh
funds,
my god, you're talking aliens, guys. Okay. Nako, ano mo pinag-uusapan yung good evening, Sir Francois. All right, sir, here we go. Good evening, Sir Francois. This is not a question to the candidate. May I ask if what will happen to the reigning title holders of Misters of Filipinas who have not yet competed in the international pageants? Oh,
Hmm.
that's case to case basis, Laura. Uh, as from what I have heard, there are some issues that you know one could not compete due to the situation. He cannot be able to come home, so there could be no chance for him to compete unless the schedule for that competition will be announced so
Hmm.
that he can be able to adjust his schedule to come home and to prepare as well. For the rest, I have no idea as of yet. But there could be a possibility as well that those the past winners will definitely compete on the upcoming competition, while the winners for this edition will definitely be for the next edition after the international competition this year. All right. So I hope I was able to answer your question, Lara. Thank you for dropping by once again. Yeah, I miss you, Laura. Mhm. Okay. Cancel culture was already asked, guys. if men and women are equal, why men are ought to give their seats to women in public transports?
Well, basically, that's because it's basic chivalry. It's courtesy. It's basic
Mm,
decency and courtesy for men. And just like what you mentioned a while ago, sir, it's the culture. It's culture that taught us that we should, provide women with the comfort. We should provide
mhm,
women with comfortability. Yeah, basically, that's
mhm,
comfortability. So we have lived our lives in that way. And I think it's not so much for us to give our seats to women because, at the end of
mhm,
the day, women deserve respect.
mhm. Well, it's not basically a mandatory. It's not
Yes.
obligatory to give seats to to women, because you know what? To be honest to you guys, there are also women who would refuse sitting.
I see. I
Mm-hmm.
see. It's true, sir.
There are women also who would refuse the seat offers to them.
Mm.
So yeah, I think that's still on equality. That depends, perhaps, if a woman would, or if a lady would really look very mad at you while you are sitting, then look at her madly as well, even more.
Bibigay ng hint. uh,
Uh-huh. I don't understand that. Ako may gikapoy sa kadaghan nimong gitubag, Dex. Sige, ako'y magpahuway para nimo. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry, I don't understand that.
you understand? You want me to translate it, sir?
Ah, sure.
Well, she said, sir, that she felt tired in behalf of me answering the question, so it's better if she could rest in behalf of me. She
Oh,
was in behalf of me.
you're
That's
crazy.
kind.
Well, one thing that I would like to ask, since all of the people right here, all of our viewers are seemingly millennials or on the Gen Zs, and there is a thought that premarital sex is a norm in this
Mm.
generation.
Is a tort?
Is a
Tort?
norm.
Ay, norm. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
What's your stand on premarital sex?
Well, I going back to the culture that we had, sir, we have
Mm-hmm.
been talking about. I don't really think that it's right to engage
Mm-hmm.
into premarital sex before before getting into marriage because the responsibility the responsibility that you carry if you have a child is huge. It's not an easy responsibility. So it's very important. It's very I would say that it's really important to do family planning and as much as possible abstain from engaging into premarital sex before marriage because marriage is such a very respectful sanctity of God. It's God's rules. Marriage should come first before the thing. And sir, it's not easy to have a child before engaging into marriage. And
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we should encourage women to take steps on making sure that they do not be in that position because it's really hard. It's very hard. And now that it's a pandemic, I don't think that they could really sustain their lives having a child before marriage.
Yeah,
Mm,
I definitely agree with you, because just
mm.
like what you have mentioned, um, sexual in, sexual intimacy is definitely a gift for married couples,
Married
basically,
couples.
because
Mm.
yes, because that's basically one of the purposes why men and women are getting married. So
Yes.
they're not
Mm.
getting married for anything else, but one of the purposes is to, to multiply, to procreate with God,
True.
since they are already becoming one. So
Yes. Mm.
see, so yeah, that's definitely correct. And
Mm.
doing it out of marriage is definitely, yeah, on my, not just on a culture, but considering our faith,
Mm.
right? So we have to think about that.
Mm.
We should know where our actions brings us, what the
Mm.
circumstances of our actions to be.
Mm. But just to be
Mhm.
clear, sir, we do not want to shame those already have children even before marriage, well, maybe
Mhm.
it could be their choice. And you know what, a child, a gift, it's a gift. And it might be the happiest thing that have ever happened in their life, so we could not blame them.
Of course, we cannot blame anyone, and we are not putting them into shame, of course.
Yes. Mhm.
But we are just trying to somehow give them some enlightenment to, reflect and
Reflect.
recollect on is what had what they had been done and learn from it.
Yes, that's true.
Right. Mhm.
Mhm.
All right. So, no, you know what, guys? Yes, we are talking about premarital sex, but we don't have to go further beyond that, okay? Or even below that. All right. So I do apologize. Hmm. I think we can have them educated through sex education and enlighten them of the responsibility of being a parent. Yeah, that's right, Che. I definitely
Check.
agree with you. But you know what? Sex education should basically start at home.
At home, right?
Yes, parents should be the one to teach these the children, especially the teenagers, on the responsibility on sex education,
Yes, I agree with you, sir.
on premarital sex rather.
As well.
Hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And women use makeup to enhance facial features. Do you think it's appropriate for men to do the same?
Why not? Why not? If it makes men more comfortable and confident in themselves, then why not? Because whoever made the concept for makeup or enhancement of facial features that is purely vested to women, I don't think there's a certain rule for that, sir. I don't think that having the resources to make you feel confident, more confident, and more comfortable with your features. If it has to do with wearing makeup, I think that's okay because it should be there should be equality, and we should not double standard men and women.
Hmm.
Mm.
All right. So yeah, there's actually a question here that caught my attention. What about those can't be married?
What about those who can't be married? I think he's referring to some sort of the LGBT community, sir. Or I don't know, because I think we were talking about premarital sex. And
Hmm.
what about those who can be
So
married?
if you are referring to the LGBT community, I'm not saying that they should not have to do it, but that
Mm,
is basically what is right.
yeah. Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
Did you get me, Mark? Ako ang sumagot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yeah, because anything that is out of marriage is definitely a sin per se in
Mhm.
as according to our faith, based on my faith. So anything that is out of marriage is definitely a sin, and regardless you are an LGBTQ partners or a hetero partners, doing out of marriage is still not okay. That's my own opinion. What about you?
Well, I do agree with you so much about you, sir. I couldn't even add more onto that. But yeah, it's a choice. It's a personal choice, and I don't think that you know, at the end of the day, we're bound with choices, and it's up to us if we'll make those choices be on the right way, in the right track, or to do it in accordance with what God wants us to do. Because at the end of the day, we should be bound with the laws of God, and we should apply this to our everyday lives.
Yes, absolutely. Um, yes, sir, sabi niya. O, so, thank you so much for that, Mark Soko.
Thank you,
Right?
Mark.
Mm-hmm. Subsa daw, subsa daw si Che Real Dex. Ano daw yun?
Substitute daw, sir. Substitute daw si Cheryl in behalf of me.
Okay. Oh, he's asking for a shout out. Am I right? Shout
Um,
out pud diha.
Shout out. Who was that, sir?
Oh, it's Roseler
Ah,
Ibrahim.
hello, hello, Popoy.
Mhm.
Shout out, Popoy. Hello,
What?
Popoy. Thank you for watching.
Oh, he's asking, by the way. Bitaw my question. Bitaw, give my question. Here's my question. Sabi niya, what advice can you give for a child having a very low self-esteem?
Hmm. Well, I've been through that stage in my life, sir. I once had a really low esteem, and the way I cope with it is I just need to surround myself with people who believe in me. I surrounded myself with people who uplift me and have seen the potential in me, sir. Because after all, it's not important to be surrounded with people who give you insecurities, with people who give you so much that they do not have. Because every single one of us is unique. We have so much to offer. You just have to take the time to find that. And then when you're ready, then you have to show that to the world. Yeah.
Mhm. Whew, there you go. So, Mark Vincent Soto. So let's get married.
So let's get married. Ay, nako.
How would you describe physical beauty to a blind person?
Mm. Well, I don't think that a blind person is too unfortunate because sometimes the most innocent person are the ones who cannot see, and sometimes I believe in that. But how you can describe something that's so beautiful to a blind person by letting him make use of what he has as his resources. He has his sense of touch, he has
Mhm.
his sense of smell, and I think if you would ask him to feel his favorite to feel his favorite texture, or to touch his favorite texture, or even to smell his favorite scent, or to wear his favorite clothing, I think that will suffice and will enable him to feel how it is to live and how it is to see a very beautiful thing, because it really is a beautiful world, and so much beautiful there's so much beauty in this world, and I don't think that a blind man is hindered to really feel what it is to have beauty beside him or around him. So yeah, that's what I think.
And blind person has a better sense than, yeah, has a better, yeah, blind person has a better sense of feeling or
Yes,
even hearing than the normal people.
it's true, sir.
So yeah, so making use of their senses is more beautiful than us.
Yes, I agree.
Mm. Nowadays, people, especially men, are up to body piercing and tattooing. Is it ethical or unethical? From your badminton mate. Ha ha ha.
Hello, Kuya Brando. Well, with your question, I don't think it's unethical, because again, it's your choice whether what you do with your body. If you wanted to have a tattoo or something, tattoo or body piercing, it might have come from something that's very important to you, something that's very sentimental to you. And you know what, sir, at the end of the day, having tattoos or having body piercing doesn't affect anybody. It's yourself. It's your choice. It doesn't affect so much about your environment. It doesn't even condescend other people. So I don't see anything wrong about it. It's your choice at the end of the day. It's your body.
All right. So there, yeah, it's just, I don't think that it's also unethical or
Mm,
either ethical, but
yes.
I think the word is respect.
Respect.
And
Mm,
yeah, I believe that it both apply to either
mm,
respect to your body if you don't want to,
mm.
respect to one's decision if they really wanted to.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Hmm. All right, guys, thank you so much for all these questions. Oh, there's another question in here. Oh, by the way, before we proceed, hello to Sharif Iswan. Ayun, there you go. Hello to Sharif Iswan. Best of luck your upcoming event po. Yeah, Sharif Iswan is from Sabah, Malaysia. Thank you for
Hello. Thank you so
watching.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Oh my
much.
God. Umabot ka hanggang Sabah. Eh, well, kung umabot ka nga hanggang Puerto Rico, di ba? Okay, there you go. The question is, what is your take about straight men having a relationship with gay?
Well, it's okay. I'm very okay with it for as long as it's
Mm,
pure love. Nothing much in consideration with something that's beneficial.
mhm.
I think if it's pure love and they do really, take see the goodness in each other, then it's okay, sir. Because that also boils down to respect. We should respect if they are in a relationship. We should respect, and we should never judge them for
Mhm.
being in a relationship and whatever gender they may be in, because you know love is unconditional. It's never about gender. Love is diverse, and it's one of the best feelings that we have. So
Mhm. So there you go, guys. So he's up for same-sex relationship.
relationship. Same-sex
He's up
relationship.
for same-sex relationship, alright? So, pila na. Yan.
Filipino.
I-box out na si Kling.
Sickling.
I-box out niyo na guys si Kling para ano. All right. So, guys, we will definitely return after the short break. So please just stay tuned. All right? And we will be talking about his advocacy. All right?
Yes.
So see you guys in a bit. All right, we are back, guys, and thank you for tuning in still. And you are still here with us. Thank you so much for that.
Thank
What toothpaste are you using? Pwede bang yung USA? Mangayog? USA? Ano ba yun? We're
mga
so
yung
proud of you.
sa
All right, so well, Noemi, your question was already asked a while back, so we cannot repeat the question anymore. All right, how? So if you want, you can just what do you call that? Rewind this. Is that correct?
rewind, rewatch the entire session.
Yes. All right. So Dallas Rust Break. Huh? Dahlia Rust Break. Oh
Yeah,
my God. I
but a bit
think I'm. Huh?
ito daw ang dali ng break. Parang it only
I
took
ang
one.
yeah, because
Short
it's
break.
really short, Noemi. Because really, Noemi, just like what I have mentioned, it's just a short break. I didn't say longer
Long break.
break. Sorry. Anyways, we're going to talk about your advocacy. So we've talked so much about pageant questions. I don't really want to ask you pageant questions. However, we were able to cross the bridge already, and we are now talking about your um, what's that again? Advocacy.
Advocacy.
Yes. Shout out to our 50 million viewers. Thank you so much for that, guys.
50
Thank you for
million people,
staying with us.
half of the
All right. So,
Filipinos.
yes, let's talk about your advocacy. How can you tell us more about your advocacy, and can you tell us
Well, yes.
also how long you've been working on your advocacy?
Mm. Well, actually, my advocacy, sir, is in somehow related with education. I have been I have been very patronage of the belief that education can do really transform lives. And you know what, sir? Just like what I have mentioned a while ago, that I went to school and didn't really have to pay for any of my tuition because basically I worked hard for it and I made myself avail of whatever opportunity that could give me to provide
Mhm.
me assistance with my education. And so I envision, sir, because of a firm believer that education can transform lives. I also want other people to experience how it is to be given assistance, sir, because there really are a lot of people who cannot um who are not able, who were presented with the opportunity to go to school. And so I thought that if I could be that one person who could march for education as a right and not just a privilege, it would be such an amazing platform for me to show to the world and to the nation as well. So yeah, that's it.
How long have you been working for this advocacy?
Well, actually, sir, we had quite programs, especially in our municipality, where there is an educational assistance provided for students, and
Mhm,
I really wanted to partner up with them and provide education for certain unable families who could not support their
mhm,
children to send to school. And I think that it's such an amazing opportunity, especially when you know that you have sent a student to school, you
mhm,
provided your advocacy, your organization is able to send someone to school and provide education for themselves, because it really is tough, especially during the pandemic. Mm.
mhm. And how do you think that this advocacy will, will become self-sustained, or how it will become sustainable?
Well, you know what, sir, I firmly believe that education is something that cannot be taken away from you. If you're given that life skill, if you're given a certain thing that you could do, you will really prosper it. You will really grow it, sir. Just like based on my experience, I was taught to play badminton, and that's something I never had an idea about in the beginning. But I used that to my advantage, and if I have made it, we could also do that to other people, when we give someone that skill, when we provide them with knowledge. Yes, and
Mhm,
just the fact that they're able to graduate in high school, they could already land an opportunity for that. So, so imagine if these children would be able to have that track. We have that track of record that they're able to finish, at least high school. Especially, it's very hard for us to go to college. It would really provide them with opportunities in this nation.
see. So there you go, guys. Do you have questions about his advocacy? Smooth kayo yung connection. Say internet ninyo. Mm-hmm. All right. Excellent. So there you go, guys. I think, what do you consider the strongest opponent in Mr. Filipinas? Oh,
Or why? Well, I really didn't have so much opportunity to meet other candidates,
mm-hmm.
Sir Francois,
Yeah.
because first we were not able to meet personally because others are in Luzon, others are in Mindanao, and we are in Visayas. But I would really say that it's only myself. Myself is my strongest opponent, Sir Francois, because I tried living my life every single day and try to compare who am I yesterday and who am I today and who I'm gonna be in the future. And just to
Mm-hmm.
keep track of that timeline and seeing the progress in me, I think really be an amazing that would be an amazing comparison of myself. And then I would be able to say that I have improved through my efforts.
Natawa ako dito. Where is Mr. Mandaluyong? The-
Reference ko talaga.
oh, he's at home. I think he was on the backs right here a while back. So, do you want me
Guys,
to bring him up?
maybe you could ask Sir Francois to interview other candidates as well of your choice.
Are you asking me the who
The
do I
interview.
want to who do I want to interview?
Maybe, sir, they're giving you hints.
No, here guys, if we invite, definitely we really want to help someone that someone that we think that we think is how shall I say, deserving of our help. But
Mm.
if one rejects our invitation, then we won't insist that. So
That's it.
this is Sir Francois, may Miss World pa yan. That's right, may Miss World, ongoing pa ang Miss Earth. So, ano mo yun? Tapos sumabay pa ang Miss Universe. So,
Oo
so
nga.
as of the moment, guys, the July schedule is already full, and there's already two schedules advanced in August. So, ang
Mm.
hirap, di ba?
So, malam niyo na, busy-busy si sir.
So, so every night makikita niyo ako rito except for this coming Friday. That's gonna be July 23 because I really intended to block that day,
Mm.
and on July 25 because it's gonna be Miss World Philippines coronation night. Anong tawag sa pageant walk mo? Piggy walk.
Well, I don't have one yet. Maybe you could give suggestions.
Do they expect slow-mo walk, kitty kitty walk?
Paano
All
ba
right.
yan?
Guys, thank you so much talaga sa energy nyo, and I really love that. I hope that every night this kind of viewers will always grace this session. All right,
Yes.
so if you have if you don't have any questions anymore, guys, about his advocacy, um, let's try to play this very simple exercise that I have prepared for
Mhm.
our guest, for your beloved Dexter. All right, there you go. So, can you see it now on your end?
Yes, sir. It's loading.
So, this is actually mystery crowns. All right. So there you go. Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
So it's mystery crowns. These mystery crowns is consist of well, it's only consists of six crowns, and each crown has a corresponding word or words that you can make a comment, reaction, or opinion. All
Mm.
right,
All right.
and I'm just asking you to choose at least or to pick at least three crowns, three mystery crowns, one after the other.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, so go ahead and pick one.
I'll pick five.
Five. Premarital sex.
Well, we've already talked about it. Premarital sex is
Yes.
someone that we do not encourage
Mm-hmm.
because it's not easy to raise a child. It's very it's so against the law of God, and premarital sex is actually very hard because it's even harder. It's hard to even plan a marriage and sustain life. How much more if you already have a child? But nothing against those who have been in premarital sex because if you're given the child, it's a blessing and it's something that you should thank God for. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. All right, there's a question. Saan mapapanood yung Mr. sa Filipinas final show? Not for the final show. I don't. I have no idea as of yet.
Mm.
But based from the experience, it was never shown live on TV. But definitely um, you can watch it on their YouTube channel and of course on their Facebook page.
Mm.
All right,
And
so that's gonna be on Peps TV
Steps TV
and on Mr. of Filipinas Facebook page.
Facebook page.
All right. So there are so many suggested numbers in here.
Even the
Mhm. Yes.
same.
So what's your next pick?
I pick three, sir.
Number three. Instagram or Facebook?
Well, I need to explain, sir. No, Instagram or
Yeah,
Facebook.
sure.
Well, I would definitely choose Facebook, sir. Facebook because
Mhm.
it's one of the front liners in social media. It's where we gather information. It's where we know certain issues. It is where we connect with other people. Facebook is very important. It's and that's something that I see as very relevant. But with Facebook, I think when we see social issues or information about Facebook, it's important to know know who the source is, to double check the source, and to try to identify if it's an authentic news or not. Facebook is very helpful, but we have to know our responsibilities as well on Facebook.
Mhm. Yeah, because Facebook is basically the convergence of all social media platforms.
True, that's true, sir.
Mhm. Yeah. Diba? That's a word, convergence. Joke.
Thank you for that word, sir.
Ay, masingit lang. Joke.
A last
All right, for our last pick.
number two.
Number two, jeans or slacks?
Um, um, jeans or slacks? I would say slacks, sir, because it's kind of more formal. And I remember during my OJT days and even during reviews, I usually wear slacks because my mother bought me so many slacks, several slacks. So it definitely would be slacks.
Oh, slacks is for the old man. Joke.
uh,
I'm just joking. I'm just
I
joking. Yeah,
feel more comfortable wearing slacks, sir.
yeah, because they are really soft. No? Mhm. You
Yes.
can, yeah, you can definitely move. Fluidly. All right.
Hmm.
All right. So there you go, guys. Door or window? Credits from Miss World questions. A while back, right? Door. I know yesterday pala. Door or window. Mhm. All right. So there you go. Any questions, guys? No more. All right. So let's move on. Wow, it's been 2 hours,
Yeah,
Dexter.
but
Yeah,
it felt like it's
yeah.
just a
It
minute.
took us 2 hours. Yeah. Wala bang talent portion daw?
Walang ganyan.
If we may ask, Dexter, what's your talent?
Sleeping, I think that's a talent. But ano sir, I used to dance or sing, but not really on artist level. Something that you can
Mm.
find out during karaoke.
So Ned, so Ned is asking for a sample.
Well, I'd like to ask what kind of sample.
Ay, Nad, he's challenging you, Nad. Oh, what do you want daw, Nad? Sing a song for us, please. Pakita mo TikTok moves mo. Singing like Elsa, let it go. Dancerist na siya. Haha, sige na daw. O, sample product daw. Hmm.
About what, sir?
I don't know. I don't know what they really want to. They're asking for.
Well, the
What's that?
instructions are not.
Elisa? Elsa? From Elsa? Let it go?
What kind of song is that?
I don't know.
Let it go. Well, the instructions were not clear, sir, so I think we could not give them that.
Hmm.
The comment. Let's answer my
All
question.
right. So seemingly he doesn't want to give any sample, guys. So we don't have to push him, and I don't want to push him really. But you have
Thank
to
you, sir.
sing. But
Other,
you have to sing.
do I really have to?
Mhm. Ayun, from Frozen movie daw. Yeah, I know that song, of course. Let it go.
Si Sir na nag-sample on behalf of me.
Yeah. Oh, yun na yun.
Yun.
Anyways, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying with us, guys. And I really do appreciate that you really sustain this, this energy. And, I'm really flattered, guys. Sana every night ganito ka-energetic ng mga viewers namin. All right. So thank you so much, Dexter. Thank you so
Thank you
much
so much,
for
sir.
accepting our invitations. It was
Well,
really I don't really regret. I have nothing to regret for accepting, for taking this interview with you, and
well,
I'm really very much honored and grateful.
no, the honor is with me.
Mhm.
The honor is with me. Thank you
Uh,
so much.
thank Thank you so much, Liloan. I believe that all of these people are from Liloan, and yeah, as soon as I visit Cebu, I'll definitely visit Liloan, but I won't
Yes,
say
I
hi
would
to
be very
anyone.
proud to. I would be very proud. I would be very happy to tour you around Liloan. Yes,
But
definitely,
just
sir.
like what I have said, I won't say hi to anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been in Cebu for like how many times?
Mm.
My hot picks ka ba for Miss World? Yes, I'll definitely release my hot picks very soon.
Mm.
On a video or on a poster as well. So definitely, I will definitely release that before this weekend. Before this week ends, pala.
Yes, we will all be waiting for this, sir.
All right. So, wow. Grabe sila. Oh. I can't really, I can't really thank you enough, guys. napaka ano nyo, napaka warm
Energetic.
nyo. Yes, napaka warm nyo. Oh my God. Oh my God. May mga nagpapahabol pa. Do you watch female pageant? If yes, what portion do you like most?
Yes, I've seen.
Is that a question for me or for him, JC? Yeah, that's for you.
Well, yes, I do watch female beauty pageants, sir. I also learn so many things from female beauty pageants, and the portion that's my favorite is definitely the Q&A, the question and answer portion. Because seeing the girls walk on their gowns and their swimsuit, introduce themselves is, it's astonishing. But when you try to listen to how the girls would speak and what they have in mind, it would really change the way you see these women, because these women are phenomenal. They are empowered, and their words, the words that they utter, are life changing. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, guys. So yeah, I don't believe him actually that he likes the question and answer portion. I know what he is thinking right now, guys, but he doesn't want to say it. So
Fair.
I don't apologize, guys. I know what he's thinking. I know what he likes best.
Yeah, I'm
However,
just the truth.
uh, so Dexter, it's now time for you to yeah, patulugin niyo na yung candidate skincare routine niya ba yan? Yep, that's right. So
That's
patulugin na natin siya, guys.
mm,
So Dexter, I'm giving you now this floor talaga yan.
Lord.
This moment, yeah, I'm giving you this moment to akala ko sa ang Alaska yan, mambaling. So I'm giving you this moment now to give message or messages to anyone you would like to address with. Of course, it's your time to promote your projects, your business, and your social media platforms. Of course, you can also invite them to watch your intro video on
Yes.
Peps
That's true.
TV. Go ahead.
Well, well, first and foremost, sir, thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, sir. I'm really humbled. It's really my privilege, and it feels so happy to be here on your page. And second, I would like to thank my team who has been very supportive since day one and until now. They have been with me. They continuously look after me. So I'm very thankful for them. Team Portes, or my Q&A mentor, and of course, the people behind my video, my photos, they were really very supportive of me. And also, guys, please support me by watching my introductory video. You can find that on YouTube. Just search for Peps TV, and you can also subscribe to Peps TV and support the programs that they have, because they are actually the producers of Misters of Filipinas. So yeah, please do look for my video, because it will be really helpful to me, because the videos with the most views will advance to the semifinals. So I would be very grateful to you if I could make it. And also, guys, please follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter account. It's only at Dexter Almendras. Yes, and maybe we could connect there and have a chit chat as well. And also, most importantly, guys, please do not just support me, but also my fellow Misters of Filipinas candidates. I mean, they're very empowered. They are also well spoken. They are professionals, and we are not battling for ourselves, but we're battling in behalf of Misters of Filipinas and men as a whole. So please do support all of us. And most importantly, to the viewers, to the commenters, please, thank you so much. Just like what Mr. Francois said, you have been very energetic. So I hope every night you'll be like this. You'll give the same energy to whoever Mr. Francois would interview. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And guys, please do follow the page of Philippine Pageant Magfields, and also please subscribe to their YouTube channel as well, and also follow and be friends with Sir Francois, because he's such a nice guy.
Wow.
Thank you so
Oh.
much.
Yes, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, I would like to assign the doxology to Cherial and the closing and the closing and the closing speech to Charisse Mary. So, guys, please take note of those assignments. All right.
Again.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nad. All right. And thank you so much, Nat, for always
Thank
supporting. Yeah,
you.
I really, really appreciate your support, your continued support. However, Dex, our what's piscot?
It's an expression, sir. Parang ay gago, I guess something like that. Sorry, sorry. It's an expression. Bisaya.
Noted down. Noted down. All right. So, all right. So, if you think that this episode already ends there, no worries. Dexter, because we also have some people at the backstage who wants to, you know, who wants to extend their support to you. All
Oh,
right.
thank you so much.
So,
Thank you
are
so
you
much.
ready?
Yes.
So
Yes.
here we go. Oops, I'm sorry.
Hello, Dex.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for saying yes to my invitation to join the screening process of Misters of Filipinas. And thanks God, here you are now, one step closer to the title. I know that you are very passionate and very determined of the things that you are going to do, but I just want you to take it easy. Do not pressure yourself. Enjoy the journey and learn from the experience. Again, thank you, good luck, and God bless. Live love, Liluan. Laban, Team Forte.
Hello, Dong. Gulat ka ba mukha kong lumabas? Gusto ko lang sabihin sa'yo na proud kami sa'yo. Galingan mo dyan. Tandaan mo lagi na nandito lang kami, handang sumuporta sa'yo palagi. Be thankful sa mga achievements mo. Huwag mong kalimutang mag-pray, ha? Lagi kang mag-iingat. Mahal na mahal ka namin. Tsaka gusto kong malaman mo na proud kami sa'yo. Andito lang kami mga sis mo lagi para sumuporta. Sina mama at papa. Mag-pray ka lang. Go, go, go. Fight, fight, fight. Laban. Good luck.
Oh,
Thank you.
so
Thank you,
there you
sir.
go.
I was surprised. I was surprised. Thank
Really.
you for that.
All right. So yes, thank you to Sir Noel. I think that's
Yes,
Sir,
my
yeah. Thank you
handle.
so much to Sir Noel for providing those videos. And yeah, actually, these people should have been part of that. You know. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sir Noel, for providing those videos, and thank you as well to the people of Lilo One. I love you guys.
We love you too, sir.
I love you guys. Yeah, I really appreciate once again. I can't really thank you enough, and I keep on telling you these guys that this is really one of the best viewers that I've ever had so far. You are very active. You are very interactive, so to say, and yeah, no worries. Kahit na ang kukulit nyo, I'm not bothered with that. I'm not bothered with that.
Not
Hindi ako
bothered.
nagpagot. Hindi ako nagpagod. Yun, joke. I really love it, guys. That's really the point. I really love it. So, thank you so much. And if you could also like and follow my page, Pageant Mag Philippines, that'll be very much appreciated. And as well, please do subscribe and click the bell notification of my YouTube channel, Pageant Mag Philippines. And guys, you are really one of a kind viewers. So ewan ko, parang ayoko na sana eh. Pero we have to say goodbye. We have to say
Bye.
goodbye and good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much once again and good night. God bless you all. See you tomorrow. We will have another oh, tomorrow is gonna be a Miss Earth. So Miss Earth candidate. I hope you guys will be with me tomorrow night. So bye bye. Good night. Thank you once again. God bless you all.